Hey everyone, Megan here. Today I am going to be focusing on cleaning up the chicken coop area. So it is behind me. It is the one area of the homestead that we have not touched yet. Today I'm focusing on it because we're going to be making a dump run soon and I want to get all the chicken wire off so we can go ahead and take that to the dump with everything else that we're going to be taking to the dump. We're not going to reuse it. Sorry, some of you out there who might be like, why don't you reuse it? This chicken wire, you'll kind of see today, it's really all bent up, and if you've ever worked with chicken wire, you know it is not fun to work with, and I'm not super excited about untangling all that. He kind of made like a dome for the chickens because, you know, there's a lot of critters out here, so yeah, you can kind of see how bent all of that is, and part of these limbs of that dead tree have fallen on top of it. So I'm not excited about untangling all that, and maybe I might change my mind if I pull some of it off. I'm like, hey, there's some good straight runs here. But the other thing I'm going to be doing is cleaning up around it, so taking off some of those things that are hanging off, and then getting rid of some of these weeds. So this weed right here is called hound's tongue. It is a non-native species here, and it's a noxious weed. I am going to be trying to pull out these dead ones and keep the seeds intact. I'm going to be just putting them in a trash bag so they don't spread. And then I'm going to be pulling off the tops of the other weeds. I'm not going to be pulling the roots of them because I want to kind of try this whole back to Eden style of gardening and just caring for the soil in general. Because it's not like I'm going to put a garden bed here, but the more that you pull up roots from underneath the ground, the less food there is from the organisms in the soil. Now, I'm totally new to this whole like permaculture idea. I'm doing a lot of experimenting with it, so even though a few of the things that I just said might not be completely accurate, I do recommend, if you're interested, to go research the permaculture and back to Eden gardening method. I'm going to be, again, experimenting with a lot of that. Anyway, back to the chicken coop. So the other thing I'm going to be doing is going inside of it for the first time today. The door has been screwed shut and we haven't gone in there yet, so I will be looking forward to seeing what's in there. Also, just want to take a moment of real talk here. So, you might notice on my face I have got what looks like a bunch of acne, but it's actually a rash that I have been dealing with for over a year now that comes out when I'm working out in the sun. I've been to a bunch of dermatologists and they can't quite figure it out other than just saying, don't go out in the sun, stay cool, stay in the shade. And for me, that's nearly impossible. I love to be outside, and in the summertime I will take every moment to soak up the sun, especially because we live in a place like Montana where a lot of the times of the year is cold. So I like to take advantage of the hot weather or warm weather and be outside. And I just take a moment to be real with you guys about it because it is a sensitive topic for me. It does bother me, and that's why I just wanted to explain what it was. And yeah, if you're wondering if we're real on this channel, there you go. There's some evidence about some realness there. But I'll keep you posted on my progress with the chicken coop today. So, like I said before, I am breaking off all of the dead remnants of this hound's tongue. The tops of this is covered in its seeds, and they are the type that stick to just about anything. So let's see. You can see those little seeds, they stick to pretty much anything, and they like to travel around And then as soon as they fall off, you know, they like to try and plant themselves somewhere else and spread. So that's how they spread. This is my first time dealing with this weed, and I really do prefer not to battle weeds with any herbicide type stuff. You know, it's not like I've never used herbicide before, because I certainly have, and I'm not saying, you know, it's evil to use it or anything, but I just want to try this first. I want to try to get rid of most of the seeds that are still out there as I can, and the ones that are coming back this year, I'm going to be, like I mentioned earlier, I'm just kind of pulling off the leaves here. Instead of pulling out the actual root, I'm just pulling off the leaves. So hopefully the idea is that it won't grow back. Now I know that doesn't work for all weeds, but this is an experiment I'm going to try, because as I mentioned before, I don't want to use herbicide, and I also don't want to disturb the soil beneath the plant, because even if it is a weed, that plant is taking in energy from the sun and it's going down into the roots, and it's feeding all those microorganisms underneath in the soil. And those microorganisms are really important for the soil to be healthy and prolific for all plant life. And this, like I mentioned again earlier, this is all new to me, so this is really an experiment. I haven't completely made a plan yet for my garden this year. It's kind of too late, first of all. It's the middle of June, so it's not like I'm going to be starting any seeds or anything. And we've just really been focused on more of like the house project side of things and just closing in general. That hasn't really been on my mind. There's been a lot going on, so it's taken a back seat for now. And I think this year I'm just going to use it to kind of watch certain areas that might be good to put a garden. I'm also going to try and start developing some compost and organic matter to put on in my garden beds, because I know I'm going to want to do raised beds for, you know, the veggies, those sorts of things that aren't really native. The previous owner, he did have a couple of beds already created, and most of the day yesterday I actually was cleaning up those beds a little bit, and I put in one of them, I put down some cardboard and grass clippings on top to try to like improve that soil a little bit. But the soil is so rocky here that I have a feeling for those beds that are like in the ground, they're probably going to be flower beds. They're going to be for like native flowers that already grow and thrive in this type of climate and soil. As far as, you know, our vegetables and produce and stuff, I am going to be doing raised beds. That's my plan right now. But as far as the things that are in the ground, I'm really just trying to kind of clean it up, to have more of a clean slate, to have more freedom of choice of what I want to do next year. And again, like I mentioned about this weed, it's all over our property. It is not a noxious weed. And that was something else I did yesterday. I went around to where a lot of the hot spots were, where they were clustered just like this one, and I did what I'm doing today. Just taking down those dead ones, putting them in a trash bag so they don't spread, and then getting rid of this. See, this is hard because I don't know if you guys can see, we have a bumblebee here, and I've been watching the bees come to the flowers on this hound's tongue, and this is really pretty to me. But you look at that bumblebee, he just landed there. So I don't know if you know anything about it. Feel free to reach out in the comments, let us know what you think. But I did research, it's non-native and it is invasive, so I know that that's not a good thing. realized that this was Fort Knox for chickens, because there was electrical wire, and obviously I already talked about the chicken coop dome. And then I'm discovering that this chicken wire is buried like a couple feet back. I think till like right about there. And I mean, to be honest, I'm not too surprised, because there are critters that will like dig underneath the chicken wire to go and get the chickens. And I mean, the electric, that's pretty smart around here, because there's a lot of things that want to get these chickens. But man, he put a lot of work into it, and so I'm just admiring that as I'm taking it down, which is unfortunate. I have to take it down to kind of redo it. It's just not in good condition. Especially, it's a bummer having to take it down knowing that we're gonna have to recreate something similar to it. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but yeah, Fort Knox for chickens. Alright, so I've got about 1.5 sheets of the chicken wire off. This is turning out to be a much bigger project than I was thinking it was going to be. I thought I was going to be able to knock it out this afternoon, but no way. Just getting around the perimeter of this area itself, I had to do a lot of clearing of dead trees, and then there was that electrical wire that was just all around the perimeter. Wrapping that up, because we want to try and keep that intact so we could possibly use it. Just going to be a longer project than I thought. So this chicken coop cleanup is going to be continued. I didn't get into the coop today, so we'll have to do that at another time. I gotta go get ready to have dinner with some friends. Jordan and I are going to go over to one of his coworkers who was kind enough to let us do laundry at their house, as well as cook supper for us. We are without a washer and dryer right now. I think next week Jordan's going to be driving down to Wyoming my mom's going to give us a washer and dryer that is at her cabin, so we might get one next week. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, this chicken coop cleanup is to be continued. Hello?
Hello. Morning.
Yes, it is the morning here. Last night Jordan got home from Wyoming. He got our washer, dryer, and fridge that my mom so kindly gave to us from the cabin. She upgraded there, so we got these, and we're very grateful for it. So today we are going to be, or this morning, we're going to be unloading the fridge in the cabin. And where are we going to put the washer and dryer?
Probably in that old bathhouse.
Okay, and in the Squirrel Kingdom.
Squirrel Kingdom.
It's cleaned out, kind of, like the best we could right now. The idea is still to probably take that down. It's just rough storage right now. We're not actually going to be doing our laundry in there, just because there's no electricity in there or anything. There's no water in it, because we have begun to move all the utilities up to the garage, so it's just there for storage right now. So we are going to get this unloaded, and then we're going to run into town for some errands today. We got to pick out a toilet, shower, bathroom sink, so kind of exciting things starting to happen here. All right, we'll keep you posted. Oh, the other thing too that I'm going to be doing today is I am going to be picking up some spray for that hound's tongue. So earlier I was talking about how I wanted to just lob off the top of them, and hopefully that there wouldn't be enough sunlight getting to it that they would stop growing. Well, I did some more research. So if you know me, I love to just jump into things kind of without researching, which is what I did. And then I did some research and also heard from some people who know more about that hound's tongue weed. And they're like, yeah, it's a taproot. It comes back every 2 years, and you have to get the taproot out for it to stop coming. So after doing research, they say if you have a big infestation like we do, the only way to really get rid of it is to spray it, unfortunately. So I researched some spray. I'm going to get one that will wear off in like 3 weeks, but will still kill the plant. But I'll show you how this hound's tongue is already coming back. Okay, so over here you can see all these leaves. You guys, I lobbed off the top of these like 4 days ago. Look at how they're already coming back. So, yeah, we have to be a little bit more aggressive here, unfortunately. But yeah, so just wanted to give you an update on that. No, I see him like right there. You guys, we just had a black bear come through. I like walked out of the cabin and, oh, there, he just ran. Yeah, he heard us. Our first bear. So I like walked out of the cabin and all of a sudden I heard something just beeline through the trees because I heard all these branches like, and I was like, just stood still. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, whatever it was saw me and headed out and didn't care about the branches and went straight through all of them. And I'm like, what animal would do that? Probably a bear. And then we kind of like walked over here and we're like, I heard it. I was like, I knew it went. So it was like up there that I heard him. And then I heard it go this direction, and so we walked over down here, and then we saw him. I don't know if you guys got that. He was like kind of a black spot in between, and then we just saw him take off. But
went up the hill.
Yeah, he went up the hill. So we were wondering if there were bears around here. They had told us there were, but we hadn't seen any yet. And so yeah, there are definitely bears here. Hey guys, we're back from running into town to pick some things up. Came back here to do a few more things today. Jordan's gonna kind of finish cleaning out what needs to be cleaned out of the Squirrel Kingdom so we can start storing things in there a little bit more nicely. We were just kind of throwing things in there for now to get out of the way, and so he's just gonna clean the rest of that out, and then I am gonna finish digging out the hole where all of our utilities go up. We need to just dig into it a little bit more so it goes straight down and then out. As I was walking over to check out what Jordan was doing, I noticed my poor violets, the only flowers I had that I brought with me from our other place, they got eaten, like totally gone. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's gone. So the deer definitely came in here and decided to have a little lunch break. So the other thing is too, in town, we were too late getting to the ag place to get the spray for the houndstooth weed. It just is going to be taking a back seat right now for all these other things that we need to do. Like we were saying in the other video, it's like putting out fires. These things come up and your priorities are changing every day. So I'm a little frustrated that we couldn't get that done. So hopefully this week I'll be able to call and pre-order some of that, and it'll be ready for me to just come pick it up. Here's Jordan moving some stuff around.
What's up?
I'll give you a look of what still kind of needs to be cleaned up in here. The other thing we want to do in here is spray this spray we have that will kill any other viruses that might be in here that the rodents carry. So that's something else that we'd like to do. So you can see there's still a little bit of work in there before we start storing our stuff in there long term. Like I said, we just kind of threw stuff in there for short term, but he's gonna be cleaning that out, and then I'm gonna go dig over at the hole. Hi there, so this is what I'm going to be doing. I am going to be getting the bottom of that to match up with the bottom down there, just so it is as kind of level as possible. And then I'm also going to be carving into this a little bit. That way we are ready to rock to get plumbing this next week, which is what Jordan's going to be doing. He's going to be laying the PVC. And then while I'm here, we scored on this toilet at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. So it's going to be our little shop toilet. So we thought, oh, why not I think it was like 20 bucks. So that was a great deal. All right, so now I'm down in the trench. You might be able to get a better idea to see what I'm doing from this view. So we'll see where all that's sloped. I need to like kind of pretty much take all of that out. So it'll be the PVC will go in and then straight up as best as we can. And so I was kind of up in there. I was chipping away around that rock because I want to get that rock out of there, and hopefully that rock too. I really hope that one's not too big. I think this one I might be able to get it out. But I just thought that this view, you might understand a little bit better what I'm doing here. And then this too, I need to scoop the rest of it out so it kind of will be even, and then we have this pile of gravel to play with to even anything else out. Short hair problems. Hair never stays up. One of them out. Yes. Got that other one. All right, just got another big one out. Right here, this guy. Starting to get better. Kind of gotta get all this taken away right here. And man, we're getting there. There's this guy right here. It's pretty big. I don't know. It'll be interesting as I keep digging out around here. I'll really get the idea of where he goes. Like, is it this part of this? Are they separate? This one's in here pretty good. I've been trying to get this out. And then I think I might have to carve into this a little bit, which won't be good. Man, I'll tell you, the tool of the day is the sharpshooter shovel. It is awesome because you just like can chisel in there in between the rocks and kind of really get in the dirt underneath it and around it enough to like wiggle it to really get it out. So that's the tool of the day. I think now's a good break time. Let's go check on Jordan. How are you doing over here? He says pretty good in his mask. Oh wow. Oh yuck. That is nasty. That's filled with squirrel stuff. I don't know if you can see that, but super cool. And that's why Jordan is actually doing this today as opposed to digging, because he is the one who has the mask to be able to work in and amongst all that gross stuff to protect him from any viruses that could be in the little feces of the critters that were in here. But he took out, there was a shower in there, like a tub shower. He took that all out. Earlier, he tried taking it out, but Jordan, was there concrete underneath it? Oh, there wasn't. Why was it so difficult to get out?
Oh, it was just screwed in pretty good.
It was just really screwed in, I guess. Awesome job. Okay, so I got the hole dug how it needs to be dug. I guess I'll show you it too. The flies are horrible right now. So there we are. So like it was like up to like here, and so I kind of dug out the rest, flattened it out. And next I'm going to be raking that pile of gravel behind me all the way up into here, and then kind of over here to be level with that, and then probably just a little bit up there. So let's get to work. Bumblebee 911. He keeps getting caught in between this window and this screen, so we're trying to get him out. And every time Jordan gets him out, he flies back in. He's in there, isn't he? No, he's up there. Oh.
You got him in there.
Well,
Ah!
no.
You won't go in it though. Bumble.
We're trying to save you.
Idiot.
Look, fly away from there. What? He's not gonna go in there.
I'm gonna get him knocked down. Not working.
You're gonna hurt him. Look, he's like, get me out. Bumble, the way out is behind you.
Bumblebee.
Is his leg caught? Looks like his leg's caught.
He's an idiot.
Well,
That is good. Bees.
it's your funeral, guy.
I grab him, but I could grab him with my hand with a glove.
Yeah, put your glove on.
Scared? I don't want to get stung. Where's he at?
He's up there.
I think he's still up there.
Take one of our 20 step stools.
Ah! Come here.
Oh.
Don't sting! Don't sting! Don't sting! Ah! He's free! I don't know where he is.
Oh, I hear him.
Oh, he's under there. I better kill him. I tried to save you.
Oh. He's mad now.
He's flying!
He's coming to get you.
Save you! Flying away. He's good. Well,
Yay!
we know how to rescue a bumblebee.
Alright, we got her all done. Jordan came and helped me kind of at the last minute. He got done over at the Squirrel Kingdom, so he came over here and helped me with the hardest part, honestly. I'm glad that he was able to help me. So I'll kind of give you a look here. So we've got that gravel kind of evening it out there. And then the rest of the trench here behind me, there was that big pile of gravel, and now it's all gone, all evened out. So on Monday, Jordan and his friend Sean are going to be laying the PVC for the plumbing. And so what they'll do is they'll just kind of dig a tiny little trench in that gravel, lay the PVC, and then we're going to be putting more gravel on top. We're going to have, I don't know if we'll have the excavator come back and do that, or if Jordan will just, we have a friend who has a Bobcat, so we might do it that way. Anyway, we're going to be putting more gravel in on top of everything else, and then we'll have the excavator come back to backfill the rest of the trench. The end result of Jordan's work. He's got some of our stuff back in here. There used to be a bunch of junk all in that corner.
Better than it was.
Yeah, it doesn't smell nearly as bad. Before it smelled like vermin, yeah. Yeah, it should air out much better now too.
Yeah. I'll think so.
Good job.
Wee wee.
Gonna round the day out today by cleaning out our new to us fridge.